Shalom, Yasharallah. This your boy, Brother Samuel, back at you with another quick edifying video. Right, today's topic, today's lesson is going to be called Thou Sluggard. Right, first and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory. I want to say, Call La Yahweh, Ba'ashem Mashiach Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rechach Radash. That's all praises to the Heavenly Father, whose name is Yahweh, and his only begotten Son's name, who you ignorantly call Jesus, whose name is Yahweh Shai, and the Holy Spirit. Right, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone from Tahar on down, who have ruled well through the Spirit, and has pushed this gospel and this truth to the four corners of the earth, right, in these last days. Like I say, today's lesson is going to be called Thou Sluggard, right? And, in this walk, sometimes we can get stagnant, and, we'll say, oh, I'll do this today, or I'll do this tomorrow, I'll do this later, right? And we keep pushing things off, man, right? And when we do that, then, we tend to get accustomed to it and we get lazy about it, right? So this is just a wake-up call for you brothers and diligent folks out there to get yourself back focused, right? Me as well, right? So let's get to let's get the definition of sluggard, right? Let me get that real quick. I'm just gonna read it. I'm not gonna go over. I'm not gonna read. So the definition of sluggard, right? And it says a lazy or sluggish person, right? So really the definition is just being lazy, man. We can't be lazy in this truth, man. We can't be lazy in this thing, man. We can't be lazy in this walk, man. Right? Because laziness leads to forgetfulness, to procrastination. And we know that Jake, the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American, hey, we're good at procrastinating and waiting till the last moment, man. But there's not time, right? Let's get this real quick. Well, this just came to me, right? And we bring this out all the time, right? Romans 13:11, it says that knowing the time that it is high time to awake out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer than when we believe, right? We don't have time to be, being lazy about this thing, man, right? Because the more we wake up, the more we continue, right, to wake up the elect, right? The more prophecy, everything is starting to come into pass, right? When we read on verse 12, it says, the night is far spent. The day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness and let us put on the armor of light, right? So we can't be lazy in this thing, man, right? We gotta keep going, man, and remember the work that we gotta do, man. If we gotta put in overtime, man, in this thing, and I get it, right? There's all different types of things, right? You got your wife, you got kids, you got work, right? You got whatever, man, right? But we gotta remember our true focus here in this captivity, man, right? And especially those, knowing this knowledge and truth, right? We got to be that light and that candle. And you can't do that, right? When it's real dim and it's put to the side, man. We got to make sure that our light is shining, man. Do you how about Shem Shine, man? Right? So let's get into it, right? Like I say, it's not going to be too long. Let's go to the book of Proverbs, right? Chapter 13 and verse number 4. And it reads, it says, the soul of a sluggard desireth and have nothing, but the soul of the diligent shall be made fat, right? And when you think about this verse here, right, it says the soul of a sluggard desireth and have nothing, right? And I think about that a lot of times, man, and I met a lot of brothers, before I got into this truth, man, just a lot of Jake who, they had so much aspirations, they had so many goals and things that they wanted to do, right? But then they got sluggish about it, man. They got sluggish about it, and then they never accomplished it. They didn't go out and do it, right? But if your soul is diligent about something, you're going to stay focused and you're going to keep and continue to do it, man, right? And that's how we got to be in this walk, man. We can't be like that nigga mentality, man, where we just continue to yeah, I want to make $1 million, and I want to do this, but you're not doing nothing to even do it. You're still sitting there, and a lot of that too. I see a lot of brothers who smoke, right? When you smoke them trees, hey, that's what you be doing, man, right? You smoke and you talk about things that you want to accomplish, or things that you want to do. Next thing I know, you over there sleeping somewhere, man, right? You knocked out. Right? But you had all these aspirations. That's what it says. The soul of the sluggard desireth and have nothing, but the soul of the diligent shall be made fat. Right? So we got to remember that, man. We got to keep our focus in this thing. Right? Let's stay in the book of Proverbs. Right? Book of Proverbs is good for, to show you like slothfulness and sluggard. Right? Slothfulness is the same thing as just being lazy. Right? Let's go to 18. And verse number 9, it says, he also that is slothful in his work is a brother to him that is a great waster, right? And that great waster, it means like destruction, right? Destructive. So the same way that a man is destructive is the same way that a slothful man is at his work, right? Because you're lazy about it, you're not caring, right? And ultimately that can lead to destruction when you think about it, man. Right? But it says he also that is slothful in his work is a brother to him that is a great waster, right? And you think about that just even in the world, just working at a job, man. You got that one brother, man, who just being lazy about stuff, right? Think about like an assembly line, right? If you're working with somebody in an assembly line, right, you all got to be focused. Your job is to do this. Hey, if a slothful man, right, does his lazy about his work, all of a sudden he'll miss, screwing the cap on, or he'll miss doing that important thing, and next the whole production is messed up and destroyed. Right? It's the same thing in this work, man. Whatever your mission is that Yahweh Shema Shai has put on you, right? If you get lazy about it and then you don't do your part as the body, hey man, then it stops functioning. And then just think about one thing that happens on your body, and it could affect your whole body, right? Your little toe messed up, and now you can't even walk right. You can't even walk on balance. You got a limp, and now you're limping. So now you're favoring one side, and now that side is hurting, and it just throws everything off, man. So we got to make sure that we're not slothful about doing the work of Yahweh Shem Shai, right? And then the thing about it, there's so many distractions in this world. I know brothers, we was just talking about it. There's so many distractions in this world, and there's so many things that can cause a man to be slothful and to be that way, right? And let's just get a couple of them, right? Let's go to the book of Sirach 19. Sirach, or the book of Ecclesiasticus, right? In the Apocrypha, chapter 19 and verse 1. And it reads, a laboring man that is given to drunkenness shall not be rich. And he that contemneth the small things shall fall little by little and little. Or Salakia shall by little shall Salakia. Let me read it again. Salakia. A laboring man that is given to drunkenness shall not be rich. And he that contempteth small things shall fall by little and little, right? Just slowly, gradually, you just kind of just falling out this thing, man. You're getting lazy. I'm gonna do my reading tomorrow. I'm gonna do me a lesson. I'll probably do it in a couple days, or I'll do that, and all of a sudden, then slowly you start to fall away, man. Right? And then you think about this drunkenness, right? Physically, but then spiritually, man, you're getting caught up in. Well, maybe I'll just celebrate, Christmas a little bit. I'll get some gifts or something. Right? Okay, well, let me get some of that eggnog. All right, well, the next thing you know, man, your ass got the damn Santa Claus hat on, and you over here, slowly you peeling away, man. Right? But you gotta make sure that you refocus, man. When you see yourself falling and you see yourself going, off the beaten path, hey, you got to make sure that you get yourself back focused on this thing, right? And it reads, and I see this happen to a lot of brothers, right? It says, Verse 2, wine and women will make men of understanding to fall away, and he that cleaveth to harlots will become impudent. Right? And when you think about this wine, right, you can think about the doctrine, right? These different doctrines and understanding, right? And you start getting drunk off, like a lot of us was drunk off this Babylon's, doctrine and their philosophies, and all of a sudden now, we're calling ourselves American. You're walking around, with your 4th of July, your flag. Hey, you're just going off, man. You know what I mean? So we definitely have to make sure that we're staying focused in this thing, and we're not letting the lusts and the desires of this world draw us away and make us become slothful, man. Right? Let's go back to the book of Proverbs. Okay, book of Proverbs, chapter 19, and verse number 15, and it reads, "Slothfulness or laziness casteth into a deep sleep, and an idle soul shall suffer hunger." Right? So laziness will cause you to, you just have you had a day where you just, man, I don't want to do nothing. I just want to sit here and chill, right? And you're sitting there chilling and you're not doing nothing. Next thing you know, you're falling asleep. You done slept the day away, man. You done slept the day away, right? You're thinking about things that you wanted to do and things that you do, right? And you won't even get up to even make something to eat, right? So think about this in this truth, man. You being slothful to this work, right? And even to get up to get your bread or your understanding, you can't even get it because you can't even reach over to open up your book to get fed, right? And to drink your water, which is the wisdom, right? So when you think about that, man, that's how you're gonna hunger, man, right? Let's get this real quick when I'm thinking about it, right? So think about that, right? It's talking about hunger, man, but then think about your spiritual, right? Your spirit is hungering for this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. But if you're not giving it to it, right, then it's gonna hunger, man. This is Sirach or Ecclesiasticus chapter 15 and verse number 3, and it says, "With the bread of understanding shall she feed him, and give him the water of wisdom to drink." Right? So if you being slothful to this thing, right, you're not gonna get your daily bread, right? How you pray, our daily bread, hey, you're not gonna get that if you're being slothful and you're being sluggard and sluggish about this stuff, man. You're not even gonna get fed your daily stuff, man. And when you don't get fed, man, right, you start to get sick, and you start to, your memory gets bad. There's a whole lot of things that happen, man. Right? So it's important that we stay focused in this walk, man. Right? Let's go back to the book of Proverbs. Right? We're gonna go to 14 and verse number 23. Right? And it says, "In all labor there is profit, but the talk of the lips, Salakia. Salakia, yeah. In all labor there is profit, but the talk of the lips tendeth only to pureness," right? Let me look at this real quick. Let's compare it. Let's see. Here we go. This is the NIV, right? It says, "All hard work brings a profit, but mere talk leads only to poverty," right? Let's see. NLT, right? It says, "Work brings profit, but mere talk leads to poverty." The GNT says, "Work and you will earn a living. If you sit around talking, you will be poor," right? So basically, don't talk about it, be about it, man. Get out there and put that action into work, man. Don't just be sitting there talking about what you're going to do, how you're going to do it. Hey, just go ahead and do it, right? Just go ahead and do it, man, right? Just don't talk yourself out of it. You're just going to keep talking and then you're not doing nothing, right? Get out there, man. Stop being lazy about this thing, man, and go and do the work of the Lord, man. Right? The day is far spent, man. Right? We in the last, we keep talking about it. We're in the last, few seconds of this thing, man. we just gotta hold tight, man, and continue to do the work, right? Let's get because your soul hungers for this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, man. That's what it desires. That's its desire, right? Your physical desires bread and water, right? Your spiritual and your spirit, it desires, your soul desires that bread of understanding and that water of wisdom. You know what I'm saying? But you can't get it if you don't open your mouth and you don't go out there and do that work to get that understanding. Let's stay in the book of Proverbs, right? We're gonna go to 20 and verse number 13. And it reads, love not sleep, lest thou come to poverty. Open thine eyes, and thou shalt be satisfied with bread. Right? So you can't be lazy about this thing. Right? You got to keep your eyes open. Right? You know, that's why the scriptures always tell you to watch. Watch ye and pray. Right? How do you watch? Hey, you watch what's going on. You go and you look in these scriptures to see the prophecies and what's going to be played out, so you know what to expect and what to see, man. But if you always got your eyes closed, hey, you ain't gonna get nothing. You're not gonna get nothing. You're not gonna see nothing. You know what I'm saying? So stay focused in this thing, man. It's a lot of distractions going on, but we got to make sure that we being diligent in this thing, right? We're gonna stay in Proverbs. We're gonna go to 24 and verse number 30, right? And it reads, let's see, verse 30, Salakia says, I went by the field of the slothful, right, of the lazy, and by the vineyard of a man void of understanding, right? He didn't have an understanding. It says, and lo, it was all grown over with thorns, right? And nettles had covered the face thereof, and the stone wall thereof was broken down, right? Then I saw and considered it well. I looked upon it and received instruction. Yet a little sleep, a little slumber, and a little folding of hands to sleep. So shall thy poverty come as one that travaileth, and they that want as an armored man, right? But when you see, right, if you're being slothful, especially if you're you're being a wine dresser or a dresser for the vineyard, right? And if you're being slothful and you're being lazy about it, right, you'll get the weeds will start growing in, right? And with thorns, they'll start choking up, your good fruit that you have out in the field, man. If you're not sitting there and you're not constantly watching and making sure that you're doing the work to continue up, man, right? When you could, because it's so much folly, right? And here in Babylon and just throughout this whole world right now, because we know Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. It's just so much stuff and folly going around that if you sit here, you can get consumed by the folly of this world and you'll get choked out, man. That's what your house was talking about, man. Right? They'll hear this word and it'll get choked out of you, man. Right? And then you won't have it no more because you let the cares of this world kind of choke the knowledge, wisdom, understanding out of you. That you can't even drink your water of wisdom now because now your throat is closed up and you can't receive it, man. Right? So we can't be slothful in this thing. We got to keep our focus, right? Let's get this real quick, right? Job said it, right? Job chapter 12 and verse number 8. And it says, or speak to the earth, and it shall teach thee, and the fishes of the sea shall declare unto thee, right? And the thing, sometimes we just got to observe the things around us, right? And one of the best things to observe around us is nature and see how it works, right? How it works and how it's constantly like a rotation and it's constantly doing stuff, man. Like even when we sleep, hey, when you think about things, there's nocturnal animals, there's, you got all these different things. You got fish that I don't even know what they do. They must swim all day, man, right? And it's just, but you got to watch this. You got to watch these things. There's things that some things don't sleep. They just keep focusing and working until they die, right? We don't, there's so much things, but watching nature will definitely give an idea, right? And let's get this one, right? Let's go to the book of Proverbs again, 6 and verse number 6, right? It says, "Go to the ant, thou sluggard, consider her ways, be wise, which having no guide, overseer, or ruler, provideth her meat in the summer, and gathereth her food in the harvest. How long wilt thou sleep, O sluggard, when thou arise out of thy sleep?" Right? So that's what we got to understand. So it says, "Ask the earth, and it shall teach you." Right? And it says, go look at the ant. You see an ant, man. And you see one ant, sure enough, it's gonna be many ants following, and they're all going to be on a mission. Especially if they find food, they relay, "Hey, there's food over here," and they all go and they work together, and they constantly until that food is brought back, until they don't finish until that job is done, right? And if that job could take, hours, it could take days, it could take whatever, but they're going to accomplish that job, and they're going to make sure that they constantly are working and they're constantly doing things, right? If you just observe the ant, right? You see one in the house and you're like, damn, then you see more, and all of a sudden you see a whole crew of them, man, and they out there doing that work, man. That's how we gotta be. So it says observe, right? It says go to the ant, thou sluggard, consider her ways, and be wise, right? You can get wisdom from watching the ants and how they work, on how you should be working in this truth, man. Right? Where you're not going to be slothful about your work, right? So, we just got to make sure that we stay focused in this thing, man. Stay focused and keep enduring, right? Let's get James, right? Chapter 1, right? These are oldies but goodies, but these work, man. It says, James 1 and 22, "But be ye doers of the word, and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves," right? And that just like how you talking about it, but you're not doing nothing about it, man. If you're gonna talk about it, then be about it. Then go do it. Don't just hear it. "Oh yeah, that sounds good." Hey, but go out and do it. Go do the work. Go do the work of Yahweh Shem Shai, man. Right? That's what we are here to do. And Yahweh Shai was a perfect example of that, right? Let's get this. Let's go to the book of John, right, chapter 9 and verse number 4. And it reads, "I must work the works of him that sent me while it is day. The night cometh when no man can work," right? So we got to have that mentality, man. We got to work the works while we can, because there's going to be a time where we're not going to be able to go out there and do this work. And we got to do the work of him that sent us, right? Which is Yahweh Shem Shai. Because ultimately, if you have this truth and understanding, it was given to you, right? By Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, man. B'Hashem Rakakradash, right? Let's get another one, right? Let's go to the book of Luke, right? Chapter 2 and verse 49. And like I say, Yahushai gave us that example, and he gave us that example from when he was young, right? Let me see. Here we go. I'm just going to start here, right? It says, "Now his parents," this is Luke chapter 2 and verse 41. "Now his parents went to Jerusalem every year at the feast of the Passover. And when he was 12 years old, they went up to Jerusalem after the custom of the feast." So this is when Yahushai was 12 years old, right? Yahushua was 12 years old in this part, right? So they were, and what happened was they were on their way home. They were like a little caravan, and they were like, "Hold on, where's Yahushua at?" They couldn't find him, and they thought that he was with his relatives, and he was, with his cousins, like most children do and playing, right? But what they did, they found him in the synagogue, right, teaching, right? And then they asked him, where you been? What you doing? And this is what he said, verse 49. This is Luke 2 and 49. "And he said unto them, How is it that ye sought me? Wish ye not that I must be about my father's business?" Right? And he was about his father's business from the beginning, man. As a child, man, he was about his father's business. What more grown men out here in this truth, man? Be about your father's business, man. Like Yahushua was about his father's business, right? Let's go to the book of Colossians, right? Book of Colossians, 3, and start at 23, right? And it reads, "And whatsoever ye do, do it heartily, as to Yahweh Shema Shai, and not unto men." So when you do this work, man, you're not doing this work for men, right? You're doing this work for Yahweh Shema Shai, for the elect, for those who are chosen and those who are meant to receive it, right? It says, "Knowing that of Yahweh Shema Shai ye shall receive the reward of the inheritance, for ye serve Yahweh Shema Shai, or Hamashiach," right? So you serve Yahweh Shai Hamashiach. You are his worker, and you got to do the work that he has sent for you. You're not doing the work of men. You're doing the work of Yahweh Shema Shai, right? And just remember that. I got a couple more, and I'm gonna close it out. Let's go to the book of First Corinthians, right? So we got to stay focused, man. We can't be sluggish around this thing, man. We can't be slothful in this work, man. We can't be lazy in this work, man. This is the book of First Corinthians, 15, and let's go to verse 58. Right? It says, "Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of Yahweh Shema Shai, for as much as ye know that your labor is not in vain in Yahweh Shema Shai." Right? The work that you're doing is not in vain. This work all has a purpose, man. Right? This work all has a purpose that we gotta go out here and do. If it reaches one person, if it reaches 150, if it reaches 2,000 people, right? It's all meant, for the honor and glory of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, man. In these days, and we got to understand that anything that you do, right, in this truth is for Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. It's not for you. It's not for your vain glory. It's not for none of that, man. It's for you to push this gospel and this truth, to wake up the elect, to seal the elect, right, and to keep enduring and stay diligent in this thing, man, right? So just remember that when you're doing the work, right? Let's see. Got one more, right? This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, and verse number 46. And it reads, "Blessed is the servant whom when he cometh, shall find so doing." What is he going to be found doing? Is doing that work, man, right? You don't want to be caught, napping. You don't want to be caught over here, just doing whatever out here in this world, man. Right? When your Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai, comes back, you want to catch him, to catch you doing the work that he has sent for you out for you to do, man. Right? Which is pushing this gospel and this truth, which is gathering this understanding, this wisdom, eating this bread of understanding in this water of wisdom, and sharing it with your brothers and sisters out here in this world, man. Right? To wake up, the elect, man. Right? So, don't be lazy in this thing, man. We got to make sure we stay focused, man. And there's something I got to work on, as well, but hopefully this lesson has been edifying, for the body and for the elect and for those who, it needs to reach, right? I want to give all praises, honor, and glory. I want to say, Kahala Yahweh, Bahashem Mashiach Yahushai, Bahashem Rechach Radash. Peace and blessings to the 12 tribes scattered abroad. A mighty shalom, right? To you elect men and you few women, right, who stand diligent in this thing, man. Keep praying for one another, keep reading, and stand diligent in this thing, man. And with that, shalom.